In every culture around the world, we communicate with each other through different customs and different gestures. Customs and gestures allow us to show how we feel, to demonstrate anger, and to show each other that we care. But how do we learn these customs and gestures? We learn them over the course of our lives, but we generally begin to pick up customs and gestures at a very early age. Let's look. This child is learning to wave bye-bye. His mother is teaching him. This child is blowing a kiss to his mother. These children are hugging each other. The way they hug changes as they get older. These two young women are from the United States. They're seeing each other for the first time in several months. When they hug, they kiss each other on the cheek. These young men have not seen each other in a long time. They hug each other, but they don't kiss. Instead of kissing, they slap each other on the back. In South Africa, members of the Zulu tribe often hug when they meet.
I'm from the Zulu ethnic group, or tribal group. So when we greet each other, there's a special handshake that we do, and we hug. And that's how we greet each other.
We have seen different hugs. People from different cultures also use different gestures. Some gestures tend to have very specific meanings. In the United States, this gesture always means okay, and the thumbs up gesture is usually positive. It might mean good job, or well done, or keep going, you're doing well. Many cultures have a gesture that means crazy. In the United States, we do this. In other cultures, the crazy gesture is similar, but it isn't exactly the same.
Crazy, the expression the crazy is one person, is this.
And crazy.
Yeah, this means crazy.
Many cultures have gestures that show that someone is smart.
If you touch your head, is intelligent.
Means intelligent.
Yeah.
Oh, 2 fingers. Yes. A lot of countries are 2 fingers for that.
Cultures also have gestures that show that someone is stupid. This gesture from Iran means stupid. Some cultures have gestures that say, I don't believe you. In Nepal, this gesture is particularly expressive. The listener doesn't like the words he hears. He moves his hands to show he's throwing the words away. Many cultures have gestures of anger, or gestures that show a person is ready to fight. In Nepal, an angry person does this to show how he was feeling.
Blood is boiling.
In Japan, they do something quite different.
This is angry. Yeah, angry.
Angry.
Yes.
Okay.
Very
I'll get
mad.
that.
There are also gestures for beauty. What does a woman do when she thinks a man is handsome? It depends on where she is from. In Chile, she does this.
And what does that mean?
That's perfect.
Perfect?
In the Czech Republic, she does this.
And for men, this.
How do you show that people are in love? In the United States, we tend to touch the heart like this. We may even show the heart beating like this. In Thailand, the hands are crossed over the neck. From the time we are very young, and all throughout our lives, we use gestures and customs to express our opinions, to show each other anger, to demonstrate affection, and to make each other feel connected and part of a special community. It's a world of gestures and customs that bring the people of the world together.
This week on Cross-Cultural Awareness, Holidays and Customs in Asia, we meet some international students who are attending school in California. Many students here are Asian. Asians celebrate a Lunar New Year, so the exact date changes every year. New Year is the biggest holiday in Asian cultures. The holiday lasts for 15 days and ends with a lantern festival on the full moon. This woman used to live in Vietnam. She now lives in California.
We go by the lunar calendar, and so our New Year's is usually in the springtime, the calendar here in America. So we celebrate it in February, March-ish. That's probably one of my favorite Vietnamese holidays.
Asians usually celebrate this holiday by lighting off firecrackers to send out the old year and to welcome the new year. They usually don't wash their hair on New Year's. Washing hair washes away good luck for the coming year. This woman used to live in Shanghai, China. She remembers a tradition that brings good luck and wealth to children.
One special custom for Chinese New Year is that parents give their children red envelopes of money.
Red is an important color because it means happiness. People use red paper to write special messages of happiness like this one. May the star of happiness, the star of wealth, and the star of longevity shine on you. Asians observe many special customs at New Year's. They spend several days before the holiday cleaning the house completely and decorating the house with flowers and plants. Flower arrangements often include pine branches, bamboo, and blossoms. Blooming flowers are placed around the home. Flowers are important because flowers will turn into fruit. Fruits with special meanings are served during New Year's. Oranges and tangerines symbolize happiness. Coconuts represent togetherness, and lychee nuts represent strong family relationships. Other foods have special meanings too. A whole fish represents togetherness, and bamboo shoots mean happiness to everyone. Noodles represent long life. Asians don't cut noodles. This is considered unlucky. Tofu is one food that Asians never eat during this holiday. Tofu is unlucky because it is white. In Asian cultures, the color white signifies death. Meals during New Year's are very important in Asia, but there are special rituals and customs during mealtimes all year long. The Chinese are gracious hosts.
For the most part, Chinese people are very they're very generous. They always insist on hosting, and they would never serve themselves food before other people. If you're all sitting at a table, they divvy it out. They always pour tea for other people before yourself.
In South Korea, meal times are a little different.
South Korea has a custom of eating together in a family setting with, there's a base soup and all these side dishes, and then the whole family eats together. I think in America you get your own plate and you kind of share the dishes, but in Korea you kind of dig in together.
We asked these Asian students if there are American customs that they don't like. In general, Asian students felt that Americans don't show enough respect for their elders.
It does bother me sometimes the way I see more American kids speak to their parents, how they address their moms and dads in public. And I really respect the fact that in Vietnam we hold it so high, our elders, and how the younger generation treats them.
I think that the respect for elders is a big thing.
And then we asked Asian students what customs they like here in the United States.
I think the custom of Thanksgiving, because we don't have that in Korea, and Thanksgiving is a good, great holiday to give thanks for your family and friends and what you have.
This is Harvard Square in Cambridge, Massachusetts, home to students, teachers, and visitors from almost every country in the world. Hundreds of foreign languages are spoken here.
My name is Maria, and I'm from South Brazil.
My name is Marie-Denise Elie, and I'm from Haiti.
I'm Christine, and I'm French.
My name is Ariella, and I'm from Mexico City.
My name is Jenna Wan. I came from Korea.
These people are all speaking English. But what if they could only speak in their native tongues?
Eu acordei hoje de manhã.
Vine, me tiré.
Mes deux filles à l'école.
Y después de un buen
eu que vas a classe.
Nobody could understand each other, and life would be very confusing. In order to communicate more effectively in a melting pot like Harvard, many people decide to improve their English. English here is the lingua franca, the language that everyone has in common. People who want to learn or improve their English come to the Cambridge Center for Adult Education, right near Harvard Square.
It's very important to know English in general in life.
If you speak a language like Portuguese and you want to communicate with people from any other country, you have to learn English.
I should know English, yeah, because I have to live here, I have to talk to people, I have to work.
Do any of you read your horoscope?
This is A.C. Kemp. She's a linguist who has been teaching English as a second language for 10 years. Here, she is teaching an intermediate conversation class. Students who reach this level often become frustrated. They reach what is called an intermediate plateau. An intermediate plateau is a common phenomenon when learning any new skill. For example, a child who is a talented athlete can master basic skills easily, but becomes frustrated at the intermediate level.
Sometimes you learn to communicate a certain way and you start repeating a mistake and you don't realize that. So you have to become aware of how you're speaking.
AC keeps her students involved by selecting interesting topics for discussion.
If you break a mirror, do you think it brings you 7 years of bad luck?
Today's topic is superstition.
You have superstitions in Japan, don't you?
4 is bad luck number. 4 means death.
What about walking under ladders? That's a big one here.
It's not superstition, but maybe it's dangerous because they're painting or they're doing something. So,
do you think it's bad luck to open an umbrella inside?
It's weird.
It's weird
to open an umbrella inside a house. I don't see the reason why.
You've heard of the superstition of knocking on wood, haven't you? All black cats are unlucky, aren't they?
AC also uses visual aids to help her students learn.
You already have one of these, don't you? So everybody on page 20 should have a picture of the palm. Now, first of all, can anyone tell me what this line is? My lifeline. Okay. Can you tell me what your partner's life is going to be like?
Long life, but with a lot of sickness.
Can you tell me what kind of life he's going to have?
You will have a regular kind of life.
I think the most fun at this level is that you start to see that you actually can communicate, and when you try talking to people, you know, that first time that you have a real conversation with someone, not just one sentence, you know, not something that you practiced from a book, and that's really exciting to realize, hey, I'm speaking English. I'm not just reading some exercise from a book, but I'm really talking.
Every time I speak English, I'm a different person. The fact that I can understand people, it's amazing. It makes me very happy.
In the past, we used to study by sitting at our desks, memorizing facts and lists and words. It was tedious. It was boring. It was awful. We used to do anything to avoid studying. But of course, in the end, we paid the price. There are many great ways to study. Today, we're going to count down 3 great ways to study because if you study, you'll probably succeed. Imagine a world where you use typewriters to write papers, and the internet didn't exist. Great way to study number 1, interactive technology and computers. Now, all kinds of computer programs are available to help you do work and study. And of course, the internet can be a great research tool. Technology gives us more flexibility in how we do research and when we study.
My computer is actually like having a library in my own room.
Aids such as computers help us produce higher quality assignments.
I could use my computer to do research, and also I can put graphs and pictures onto my assignment. I can do spelling error check.
In learning English, technology can help us gain exposure to the language regardless of our geographic location.
Whale.
Now that we have computers, the students are able to access a variety of information from the web. They're able to access different samples of audio from different parts of the world in English. You have British English, Australian English, American English. And I think it's expanded the students' base for learning English.
Do you think you have to be alone to study? Think again. Research shows that when students work together in small groups, they are more likely to learn more and remember information for longer periods of time. Great way to study number 2, study groups.
If you study in a group, your group members are going to require you to read the material ahead of time, so you're going to be more prepared for the exam and you will have a higher success rate in the classroom.
You can compare notes with your peers and learn material a lot easier.
If you're having a hard time understanding some difficult material, you'll probably benefit from great way to study number 3, working with a tutor or mentor.
For example, you wouldn't write square root of 4 as your answer, you would write 2.
Most colleges and universities offer tutors and mentors to help students when they are struggling, and you may only need a tutor to help you understand a particularly difficult concept. Once you get through it, you'll be able to continue successfully in a class.
If a student feels that he needs help, he could go to the university's student center and ask about tutoring services on campus.
If you feel like you're having too many problems, of course, going to the teacher is good, but you don't want to go every second either. The tutor's the best way because tutors are students as well, so they've been through the same experience, and they can certainly guide you by letting you understand the material in a different way.
Something else the student could do is ask around, talk to other people, talk to other students. Maybe they have some recommendations and some experiences about tutoring in general.
So that's 3 great ways to improve your study habits. Let's count them down again. Interactive technology and computers, study groups, and tutors and mentors.
Welcome to Myth or Reality. Today's topic is happiness. I'm your host, Brad McBride. This is Pat, and this is Amanda. Are you guys ready? Pat?
I'm psyched. I'm so ready.
Amanda?
He doesn't stand a chance. I'm gonna kill him.
Okay, let's get started. We asked a group of 100 people selected at random, what is the most important key to happiness? Our contestants will try and guess the top 3 answers. For every answer guessed correctly, you'll get 100 points. Then they'll tell us if those answers are myth or reality for an additional 100 points. Pat, what is the most important key to happiness?
Well, people think if you have a lot of money, then you'll be happy. So one of the top 3 answers must be wealth.
Did they say wealth? Let's find out.
I think the key to happiness is having money.
Being rich.
Being rich.
Wealth.
The key to happiness is having money.
You're right, Pat. Wealth was one of the top 3 answers. And now to earn 100 more points, is wealth a key to happiness? Is that myth or reality?
Well, I think you need a certain amount of money to meet your needs and to be comfortable. But I don't think that having an enormous amount of money will make you happier. Some rich people are extremely unhappy. I think it's a myth.
You're right, Pat. Studies show simply having enormous wealth does not make you any happier. That's just a myth. Now let's go to Amanda. Well, Amanda, he's on a roll.
Oh yeah, no big deal.
2 answers remain on the board. If you can figure one of them out, you can pick up some points.
Well, I'm a pretty happy person.
And what makes you happy?
Having friends. That's gotta be one of the answers.
Sounds good. Did people say friends? Let's find out.
Good relationships are so important for happiness.
Friends and relationships.
Friends and relationships.
Friends and relationships.
A key to happiness is good friends.
Yes! Our survey showed just that. People think friends and relationships are a key to happiness. In fact, it's our #1 answer. What do you think, Amanda? Are friends and relationships a key to happiness? Is that myth or reality?
I'm really sure that having good relationships with family and friends is a key to happiness. Yes, it's absolutely true.
Let's see. Yes, that's reality. Numerous studies show that close relationships are one of the most important keys to happiness. You get 100 points. Now let's go back to Pat. There is one more answer up on the board. Let's see if Pat can get it. Pat, what do you think the answer is?
That's pretty hard. I mean, it could be a lot of things. It could be just about anything. So maybe some people are just born that way.
You're just born that way. Genetics. Did anyone say it? Let's find out. No, sorry, Pat, nobody said it. Let's see if Amanda can guess what the answer is.
What about where you live? No, that can't be one of the top 3. Well, some people think that being attractive will make you happy, so I'm gonna say being attractive.
Being attractive. Did anyone say it? Let's find out.
I think looking good on the outside makes you feel good on the inside.
Good looks.
Good looks.
Good looks.
Being good looking.
Being attractive makes people happy.
Yes, our survey showed that people think being absolutely gorgeous is a key to happiness. What do you think, Amanda? Is being beautiful a key to happiness? Is that myth or reality?
That's really hard. It might be true because you would certainly get more dates, but I'm pretty sure there are just as many good-looking people who aren't really happy at all. It might make a small difference, so I'm gonna say it's true, it's reality.
And you are correct. Studies show that beauty can make people happier, but the effect is small. But you earn 100 points. And now, let's move on to our lightning round. In this round, the first person to hit the buzzer gets a chance to answer the question. Ready? If you act happy, you will feel happy. Myth or reality? Pat? Oh, sorry, Pat. Time's up. Let's see if Amanda can get it. If you act happy, you will feel happy. Myth or reality?
Gee, just acting happy can't make you really happy. I'm gonna say it's a myth.
No, it might seem strange, but research shows that you can make yourself happy by acting happy. Next question. Ready? If you work out regularly, you can become happier. Myth or reality? Pat.
Whenever I work out, I feel better. So that must be true, Brad.
Let's see if research backs you up, Pat. Yes, it does. Studies show that exercise can dramatically reduce depression in many people. Pat gets 100 points. Let's move on to our next question. People who live in cold climates are not as happy as people who live in warm climates. Myth or reality? Amanda.
It's hard to say, but I'm pretty sure it's a myth.
You're right. That's a myth. According to a recent study, Denmark is one of the happiest countries in the world. And that means Amanda is our winner here today on Myth or Reality. Congratulations, Amanda. You must be happy.
I'm wicked happy.
Thanks for watching. Tune in next week on Myth or Reality.
Welcome to Changing Lifestyles. Today we'll take a look at the changing role of fathers. In the 1950s and the 1960s, most fathers went to work every day, and most mothers stayed at home to take care of the children. However, since the late 60s and the early 70s, family life has been changing dramatically. Instead of accepting the rigid roles imposed by society, many couples have been deciding to change their work-life balance. More mothers have been pursuing careers, while at the same time fathers have been devoting more time to caring for children and doing household chores. This is David Knoll. David is 33 years old, husband, and father of 2 girls. David is a modern father. He and his wife both pursue careers and share in raising the children and doing housework.
Okay, well then you're gonna go to the playground?
Right?
Okay.
Right.
I love you. Can you say bye-bye? Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
David's father, Bob Knoll, was also a loving father, but David's role as a father was different. During the early part of his career, Bob went to work every day while his wife Shirley stayed home. Bob worked for 38 years at Westinghouse as an electrical engineer. Bob worked on some of the first computers ever produced. Bob had always been an involved father. But in 1970, Shirley decided to go back to work. That was when Bob's role as a father changed.
When Shirley went back to work, I had to change my role and started doing more cooking, driving the children here and there. When our children were growing up, I took a lot of interest in what they were doing.
I think in many ways, I was probably better prepared for the changing roles that I've had to take on by my father.
We did many things together, and I tried to get them involved in other areas that they seemed to show interest in, such as theater and magic.
He did a great deal more than I think many fathers. I mean, I can think of childhood friends whose fathers, were running businesses who participated almost not at all in their development. And I think I had a role model.
I remember David was he got very interested in magic and juggling, and he was an avid reader.
As a young man, David loved magic, but he pursued a career as a biochemist. Before having children, David spent 40 hours per week studying cellular DNA in a research lab. And his wife, Diane, spent 40 hours a week working as a lawyer in Washington, D.C. After the girls were born, David and Diane both cut back on their hours in order to take care of their daughters. As a research scientist, David's schedule was more flexible, so he took on more responsibilities for the children's day-to-day care.
Well, I have been able to adjust my schedule so that I can be home at 5 o'clock for the kids, and if the children are sick, being able to come home and take them to the doctors. We go for a walk, we take the dogs up the street, go to the park, hang out at the park, and then we head back to the house and begin preparing dinner.
Since Bob retired 10 years ago, he has been enjoying his role as a grandfather. He's been traveling with his wife Shirley, and he's been playing tennis. Meanwhile, David is just beginning his journey as a father in a new era.
It can be difficult, especially when you're taking on new roles for the first time, and it can be disconcerting, and it can be more comfortable to take on those traditional roles. I think I have many more responsibilities than even most fathers do today, and certainly more than I think when my father was raising his children. But the difference is not the sort of classic role reversal. I'm not a stay-at-home dad. We have an excellent babysitter who has allowed both my wife and I the opportunities to continue pursuing our career.
While there are many differences in how David and Bob have raised their children, there are many important similarities.
You won't believe what happened to me at lunch the other day. I had one of the worst dining experiences I've ever had.
Let me tell you about lunch on Tuesday. What happened was this. I had one of the worst customers I've ever met in my life.
I couldn't believe this waitress. She was very inattentive from the beginning. I signaled for her to come over, but she ignored me.
When he came in and sat down, he was on the phone.
Fridays are better for me. No, not 9:30, of course not. Fine, 11. Not now. Come back in a few minutes. Becky, I've looked at these contracts. It's completely unacceptable.
Finally, he got off the phone. Then, I went over to take his drink order. Can I get you something from the bar?
Yes, please. I'll have a glass of iced tea with lemon. Excuse me. Finally, she came over to take my drink order.
Can I get you something from the bar?
Yes, please. I'll have a glass of iced tea with lemon.
Iced tea. I returned promptly with the drink. One iced tea.
It's not what I ordered. I asked for a bottle of mineral water with a couple of slices of lime.
Yes, certainly. Sorry for the confusion.
Finally, when she came back with the drink, there was no lemon. Her rudeness was appalling. Excuse me, could I have a slice of lemon?
The bar's out of lemons.
Oh, well then can I just have a bottle of mineral water with lime?
Mineral water with lime. The salmon was really excellent that day, so I recommended it. Let me tell you about our special today. The chef is preparing grilled salmon with a lovely red pepper cream sauce, and that's served with sautéed spinach, buttered baby carrots with fresh mint, and roasted new potatoes. Oh, it's excellent.
Fine. We'll try that. But hurry it up, I got a meeting at 1:30.
Good choice.
Hey! Bring me a couple of rolls. She didn't know anything about the menu. Do you have any specials?
It's grilled salmon with a pepper cream sauce. Can I get that for you?
Does it come with vegetables?
All of the entrees come with vegetables.
Well,
Do you want me to just come back when you're ready?
No. I'll have the salmon. I'm sort of in a hurry.
Okay. I brought the rolls out.
2 rolls? I asked for several rolls.
Sorry, I'll get you some more. Then I brought the salmon out as soon as it was ready. It was hot, perfectly prepared. But he was still busy, so I set it down. But he kept talking on the phone. And by the time he tried his food, it was cold.
His food is cold. Take it back.
Okay, sir. I'll have that heated right up. I'm very sorry.
Instead of a couple of rolls, she brought me a few crackers. And then I waited for a half an hour. When the food finally came out, it was ice cold. Excuse me, but the food is cold. Can you heat it up, please?
Whatever.
But the worst moment of all
Was yet to come. He ordered a cup of 2% decaf latte.
Oh, jeez, I don't believe it. Look what you did. No, thank you. You've done enough already. She brought me a mocha cappuccino, not a latte. And she put it down so carelessly that she spilled the whole cup. I have an important meeting. I can't believe it.
Sorry. Anyway, he was unbelievably awful. Needless to say, he didn't leave a tip.
Excuse me, waitress. I'm ready to order.
Oh, I have a customer.
Anyway, she was unbelievably awful. Needless to say, I didn't leave a tip. That call. I just... Excuse me. I'm a mess. I can't believe it.
Oh, it's excellent.
Anyway.
Can I get you something from the bar?
Hi, can I get a Hulk, please?
Can I have a Hulk? I'd like to try the Hulk.
Welcome to the Body Factory, one of the hottest spots in Los Angeles.
The service is great.
I come to the Body Factory quite often.
Company founder, CEO, and president Robert Greene has made a career for himself by following his passion, health and fitness. Trained as a dancer, Robert has been an exercise instructor, a TV show host, and a successful entrepreneur. Robert has built the Body Factory around the Hulk. The Hulk is a smoothie, but it's not like any other smoothie you've ever tried.
We have over 30 smoothies, but what seems to be the most popular smoothie is the Hulk. It's absolutely amazing. We beg and we plead people to try other drinks, but the Hulk is really where it's at. The Hulk smoothie was created by me about 12 years ago, and what's so amazing is there's nothing out there for the average consumer that contains all your green vegetables, that tastes really, really good, and that actually has the nutritional breakdown that your body needs on a daily basis. So some of these ingredients include broccoli, spinach, cayenne pepper, celery, tomatoes, onions, brown rice, seaweed, sage, thyme, sea salt. With so many ingredients, people might expect it to taste not so good, but this drink is absolutely the best drink you'll ever have.
I love the Hulk. I drink it every day.
And I hate swallowing pills, so I get all of my vitamins in the Hulk.
It gets me through my day. People actually develop a craving for this, an actual addiction in a good way for this positive food. So someone who's never worked out in their life, someone who's never eaten healthy in their life, could drink this shake and actually love drinking this shake, develop a craving for this good quality shake. It actually makes them want to continue this new lifestyle that they have.
But it takes more than passion, a great idea, and an addictive smoothie to build a business. It takes knowledge, an understanding of what motivates other people, and a lot of creativity.
My keys to running a successful business are the following. 1, selling great products. Here are one of the greatest products in the store. It's a Voluspa candle line. It's a DVD game that uses biofeedback. What's happening inside your body is visually seen on the screen. This is called the 2-minute meal. It's sealed like it's sealed in the Army. It's absolutely delicious. Making customers feel important and special is a second key to our success.
He's super knowledgeable about all of his products, and he puts a lot of love and care into this place. And
hiring a wonderful staff is the next element to a successful business. Thank you. Creating a great, fun atmosphere is a huge key to success for any business. It's all about the spritzing. If you look around any of our Body Factory stores, they're inviting, they're friendly, they're beautifully designed. And finally, every good business needs marketing, and good marketing. Our marketing strategies are movie sets, and what's really important is the internet presence. Every good business has to be on the internet to get the word out.
Robert continues to expand his business with new stores opening soon in Miami and New York. Here in Los Angeles, he takes great pride and satisfaction in what he has already accomplished.
I love working here because I see how people respond to it. This store makes people feel great about themselves. Look at the muscles pop out. Hulk. Thanks.
Marty will ask anything. Good afternoon, and welcome to Personal Questions. Now that's personal. Our reporter, Marty Sanders, is on the scene asking some personal questions. You know, there are some topics most of us wouldn't bring up if we were talking to someone we didn't know very well. Here on Now That's Personal, we aren't afraid to bring up really sensitive topics with random strangers. Today's first topic will be breakups. Let's go live to Marty Sanders. Marty?
Hi, RD. This is Marty Sanders reporting from Harvard Square. I'm here with David. Hi, David.
Hi, Marty.
I asked David where he's from. He told me he's from Newton. He said that he grew up there. I also asked David about his family. He told me that he has 2 sisters and a brother. Right, David?
That's right, Marty.
Now, this is our Now That's Personal bell. You ring it when the questions get too personal.
I can handle it.
So do you have a girlfriend?
No, actually, I don't.
Why don't you have a girlfriend?
She broke up with me, actually. Her name was Zoe. She told me she didn't want to see me anymore.
So why did she break up with you?
She told me the magic was gone.
Oh, that's too bad. I'm so sorry.
She also told me she met someone else.
David, you're gonna be okay. So who's she going out with now?
It's kind of personal.
Exactly! This is Now That's Personal. Come on.
I rang the bell.
Oh, so what? Come on, you can tell me. Who's she going out with?
She's going out with my best friend.
Get out of here! I don't believe it. Isn't that terrible?
She said she'd call me soon.
Sure, Dave. Asking a complete stranger about a breakup is pretty personal, and most of us wouldn't dream of bringing it up. Except, of course, here on Now That's Personal. Another topic we don't bring up, even with our friends, is how much money we make. Let's see how Marty handles that one.
Hi, I'm from Personal Questions, Now That's Personal. Have you seen the show?
Yeah.
Can I ask you some questions?
Yeah, why not?
All right, this is our Now That's Personal bell. You ring it when the questions get too personal, okay?
Sounds good.
Where do you work?
I work for Brown & Steele. It's a law firm.
A law firm has a lot of office supplies, pens, papers, stuff like that, right?
Right, of course.
Do you ever take any of that stuff home with you?
Well, once in a while, yeah.
Do you have a girlfriend?
Yeah.
Do you like her mother? How many times have you cheated on her? Have you cheated on her? Cheater. Okay, do you love her?
Yeah.
Will you marry her?
Yeah, I think I'm going to ask her to marry me next month. It's her birthday.
How much money do you make?
Sorry, that's just a little too personal.
Come on.
No, it's just, well, we don't talk about it at the office, so I'd feel kind of weird talking about it with you.
Well, RD, there you have it. I guess that's just too personal.
It certainly was. And now for the next portion of our program. We ask you to tell us about your friends and family who share information that is a little too personal. Marty?
Hi, I'm with Now That's Personal. Can I ask you some questions? Great. Do people ever ask you questions that are just too personal?
Sometimes, yes.
Do you have a girlfriend?
Yep.
What's her name?
Her name is Brittany.
Do you have a boyfriend?
No.
Why not? Do you think Britain's cheating on you?
No, I don't.
Have you ever cheated on a girlfriend?
Yes.
Have you ever cheated on her?
No.
Have you ever thought about cheating on her?
That's too personal.
One time somebody asked me how much money I had in my wallet.
How much money do you make? Have you ever cheated on your taxes?
Friends have told me stuff about their parents I just don't need to know.
My best friend has told me way too much information about her family.
Have any of them ever been to jail?
No.
Half of your family has committed crimes?
I'd guess half of the direct family has committed crime.
Now that's personal.
How often do you work out?
3 days a week.
How much do you weigh? How much do you weigh? How much do you weigh?
That's personal.
Do you like the summer?
I love summer.
Do you shave any parts of your body? Wow. Now that's personal.
Oh. Thanks for joining us today on Now That's Personal. Tune in next week when we ask people if they've ever been accused of a crime.
Margie McGraw is a travel writer based in Nashville, Tennessee. She has written books, articles, and radio programs about the music and history of Nashville.
People ask me to write about Nashville all the time, so my challenge is to find a new and unusual focus for my stories. Nashville, Tennessee has been called Music City, USA, and most recently Guitar Town. Today I'm going to prepare an article for my paper to find out why. In the 1950s, a disc jockey referred to Nashville as Music City, USA, and the name stuck. But music had been an important part of Nashville's cultural life long before that. Nashville's reputation as a music center started in the 1930s with a radio show called the Grand Ole Opry. It was broadcast from here, in the Ryman Auditorium, to people all over the United States. From the 1950s on, one musician who was often heard on the program was Mother Maybelle Carter. And the way she played her guitar changed country music. One place to learn more about Mother Maybelle is right here at the Country Music Hall of Fame. Come on, let's go inside. The Hall of Fame is where the very best country musicians are honored. In the museum, you can learn about the history of country music and see many country musicians, performances, clothes, and instruments. I interviewed Mick Buck. He works at the museum and is an expert on music history.
Up until the 1920s, the guitar had been used primarily as a rhythm instrument, a secondary instrument. Maybelle found a way to make her guitar sound like two guitars playing at once. She could play the rhythm chords and lead melody lines at the same time. And this was truly a revolutionary thing at that time period.
Hey, Mother Maybelle Carter used a Gibson guitar, so I thought that's something else I can focus on. Gibson guitars are made right here in Nashville. I wonder if that's why they call it Guitar Town. Orville Gibson, the company's founder, had been a shoe clerk before he started making mandolins and guitars. Musicians loved the sound of his Gibsons, and they still do. I got to talk to a lot of people at the factory. I wanted to find out what it is that makes a Gibson guitar so special. What makes a Gibson sound like a Gibson?
The way the guitar is weighted, the balance of it. There's a lot of things that go into what makes it. A lot of people like the design of its classic design, the body shape.
What's Gibson's most famous guitar?
Well, today, the guitar Gibson is best known for is the Les Paul. In 1952, when Gibson introduced the Les Paul model, Gibson had been making only hollow body electric guitars. We decided to make one with a solid body. So they found Les Paul, who was, at that time, the most famous guitar player in the world. And he also had been playing a homemade solid body guitar. So Gibson and Les got together and introduced the Les Paul model. It had a gold top finish. We still make them today, and it's by far the most successful arrangement between a guitar company and a guitar player in the history of the guitar.
Obviously, many people in Nashville are extremely passionate about guitars, but George Gruen is completely obsessed. George Gruen runs the most famous vintage guitar business in the world. It's located in the heart of Nashville. George Gruen is famous because he invented a way to classify guitars.
Style 45 has this abalone pearl trim all around the edge of the top.
No one had ever done this before.
It's a rare enough one that they only made a couple dozen.
He's a walking encyclopedia of guitar knowledge, and he can tell you the value of any guitar in minutes.
Rosewood fingerboard, $300.
He also has had some pretty famous customers like Eric Clapton, Johnny Cash,
But this was Johnny Cash's main guitar.
George Harrison, and Paul McCartney.
Those guitars were incredible. I have enough to write my article, and I think I know why they call Nashville Guitar Town.
To fly like a bird. It's a desire that captures the human imagination. The Greeks told stories of Daedalus, an inventor who created wings made of wax and feathers and flew. The first person who seriously tried to fly like a bird was Italian artist and inventor Leonardo da Vinci. Da Vinci designed complex and wondrous flying machines, but his designs never got off the ground. Early inventors like Da Vinci tried to fly by flapping, just like birds. Here is what happens when a bird flaps. When a bird flaps, thrust and lift and control are all created at the same time. Lift is the force that keeps the bird elevated. Lift is generated by the air under the bird's wings. Thrust is the force that keeps the bird moving forward. Thrust is generated by powerful muscles in the bird's chest and wings. The bird maintains control by constantly adjusting its flapping. Much of a bird's control is generated by its tail. A successful flying machine needed to provide the same forces that a bird used. A successful flying machine needed to provide lift to overcome gravity, control to let the driver change direction, and thrust to make it move forward. And it needed to be light enough to stay in the air. Once inventors understood these three challenges separately and stopped trying to flap, they made progress. One inventor was the Brazilian pilot and aviator Alberto Santos Dumont. Santos Dumont experimented with balloons. He flew his lighter-than-air flying machines in France. In 1901, Santos Dumont was the first to fly from St. Cloud to the Eiffel Tower and back in a given time. Meanwhile, other inventors were working on heavier-than-air flying machines. With these aircraft, lift was a big problem. German flyer Otto Lilienthal tackled the problem of lift. He built many large gliders, constantly refining their design. Lilienthal made thousands of flights from the top of a hill, some that lasted as long as 5 hours. But he eventually died in a tragic crash. Lilienthal successfully mastered the challenge of lift, but he did not master the challenge of control. The Wright brothers were inspired by Lilienthal's inventions. The Wright brothers started to develop and test their own flying machines. In their Ohio workshop, they built a wind tunnel and wing models that helped them understand and study aerodynamics. Through trial and error, they discovered how the shapes of different wings affected lift. They added a tail that moved, a stabilizer that made the front steady, and wings that were more flexible. Their 1902 glider was the first aircraft that was completely controllable. The next year, they added a custom-built engine that provided thrust. The engine powered them forward and increased distance and duration. On December 17, 1903, after about 1,000 test flights, the Wright brothers flew the first powered airplane over the sand dunes of North Carolina. Santos Dumont invented heavier-than-air planes too. In 1909, he developed a monoplane called Demoiselle, or the Grasshopper. It was the first modern aircraft. After that, advances in aircraft design came quickly. More powerful engines were invented. New, lightweight materials were developed so aircraft could go higher and faster. By World War II, strong metal replaced the canvas and wood of earlier planes. In 1947, test pilot Chuck Yeager went faster than the speed of sound in a rocket-powered plane that looked like a bullet with wings. The invention of the jet engine made even higher speeds possible and pushed aircraft design in new directions. But technology doesn't always push to go faster. With new ultralight materials, the human-powered gossamer makes it almost possible for people to fulfill the age-old desire and fly like a bird.
The human brain is always working, processing information from our senses, solving problems, inspiring creativity, controlling our bodies, dreaming, and making sense of the world. This week, on The Brain at Work, we look at the role of the brain in our relationships. Human relationships, the ways in which we interact with each other, work together, have fun, fall in love. These are complex processes that go on in our brains. One hot new topic that's getting a lot of attention is the theory that there are male brains and female brains. Researchers claim that female brains are better at forming relationships. But are there really male brains and female brains?
I would be very wary of anyone who talks about male and female brains.
Rosalind Barnett is the Director of Community Families and the Work Program at Brandeis Women's Studies Research Center, and the author of several books.
If you hook men and women up to some monitoring system and you ask them to do a difficult cognitive task, it will look like different parts of their brains are operating while they are doing those tasks. To jump from the fact that the right side, one part of your brain may light up when you're doing a math problem, that may be interesting, and maybe someday we'll figure out what that means. But right now, what we have is that men and women perform equally well, men and women are equally intelligent, and there's no functional difference.
We may have to wait a long time before we really know if there is a significant difference between the brains of men and of women. After all, many women are excellent problem solvers and mathematicians, and many are great at relating to other people. The ability to relate to others and read social situations is called emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence is a gift. Some of us are born with it. Do you know anyone who is able to read social situations instantly, who always knows what other people are feeling, and who understands relationships between other people simply by looking at them? This intelligence can be measured and improved. Using a video tool called the Interpersonal Perception Task, researchers at the University of California in Santa Cruz can test a person's emotional intelligence. This same tool can also be used to help people improve their ability to relate to others. Interestingly, women tend to do slightly better on these tests than men, although the differences are quite small. In this scene, if you pay attention to body language, you should be able to figure out which of these players won the basketball game.
And I've been playing ball since I was 8 years old, and he's been playing less than that, a lot less than that. And I got my shot down pretty packed. Even if I'm cold, I know I'm still gonna eventually hit. And I don't know about himself.
My shot isn't down packed. I just have to feel the ball. I'm like a weather player. If the weather's all right, then I'm all right.
Can you tell who won? The man on the right is the winner of the game. His posture is proud. He holds his head up. He is holding the ball, almost like a trophy. Now, let's watch the next scene. In this scene, a man and woman are planning a trip. Watch their body language and the way they relate to each other. See if you can determine their relationship. Are they A, husband and wife, B, brother and sister, C, friends who have known each other a few months?
Besides Tokyo, where else do you want to go?
Definitely Kyoto. We'll go see Diana and Mark and those guys.
Do you want to go back to Nico?
I would love to go to Nico, but I don't think on this trip I want to go to Nico.
Scratch that.
What about Osaka? We haven't been to Osaka yet.
Okay.
That's all I really want to do.
Okay. Then how do you want?
Unless you want to go.
Do you want to go straight to Beijing from there?
Beijing.
Sorry, Beijing.
Yeah.
What is the relationship between the man and the woman? If you look closely at these two, you will see a family resemblance. She is the older sister. She is clearly making the decisions. Did you notice how she corrected his pronunciation of the word Beijing? Are you surprised? Or did you figure it out? You know, your brain is always working. By becoming more aware of what's going on around you, you can improve your emotional intelligence and have better relationships. Try it.